Yo, run it back.
Oh. I'll cut it later. All right, just start from here.
Yeah.
Enough of your damn voice. Yo, we're back. Run it back. Rvn It Back. Run it back.
Yeah.
Episode 6. I'm here with Dan and Kev. What's good, man?
How's it going, everybody?
Chilling. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, boy.
Trying to take over the intros now.
I'm taking over the intros, bro. You know, I gotta take over.
I don't mind.
You gotta let
This
the minorities.
man's a belligerent drunk.
Let the man shine.
Hey, man. I'm just trying to let the people know I'm out here. But
Let's jump right into it.
Right into it.
We got 2 weeks worth of new music to cover. We weren't able to meet up to do the podcast last week. So starting with the projects that came out last week. First, we'll do Future and Juice WRLD. They dropped their album. Before we even speak about the project, let's shout out our boy Chris, The Real Cure, track 5, Make It Back. Congratulations, my brother. More hits upon your head top, boy.
Yeah, man. Well deserved. Definitely one of the standout tracks out of the whole album. We'll definitely get into the album right now. What did you guys think about it?
Alright. So, we got the congratulations out of the way. I think so far, listening back to our previous episodes, in my opinion, we've been a little too generous. We gotta start calling it how it is.
Okay.
To me, this project was pretty trash, man. Not gonna lie. I'm not a huge Juice WRLD fan, but I'm a really big Future fan. And I've heard a few freestyles of Juice WRLD on YouTube, and I was like, okay, this guy could rap a little bit. I was excited to hear what they could do together, but sadly, they disappointed me.
No, bro. I don't know how you're not a fan of Juice WRLD. Like, Juice WRLD is killing it. That last album he put out was fire. Good riddance and good, something like that, right? Anyways, those tracks were fire. I love that album so much. I think that's one of the best albums.
The Future one or Juice WRLD?
The Juice WRLD one.
Juice
Okay,
WRLD.
Juice WRLD that came out this year, his last album. I honestly didn't like this album. I don't know why he did a collab with Future. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sort of tired of Future.
I agree. As far as this album goes, Juice WRLD's definitely the standout. Future's kind of sits stale on this. But that track that Chris did, though, like...
Yeah, man.
Juice definitely snapped on that.
Yeah, bro. That was definitely sick. Like, when I talk about Future, like, I'm sort of fed up of him talking about, you know, doing drugs and shit. How he's sort of, like... talking about how he's having such a great ass time doing this amount and that amount.
You know he's lying.
I know, but I hate him because I'm so fed up of his voice too and his mumble rap and shit. Because I'm like, this man was just, this whole album was him just saying, oh, did this, did that. And especially with the whole thing about, you know, with Mac Miller passing away, I'm sort of fed up of people like that talking about how it's sort of like a great thing and it's kind of irritating.
Like, the fact, I do agree with you that his content is sometimes like repetitive, like he talks about the same things over and over and again, but I think Future is actually really dope. There are certain songs that he has out there that are like super deep and he talks about like real shit that I heard.
His whole works, all of his stuff relies so much on the beat. It doesn't even rely on his lyrics.
No, man, that's not true.
I don't agree with that.
That has nothing to do with the beat, but that's just fire.
That shit is stupid.
No, it's not, man. I think he's innovative. Like, no, that shit he did on that Kendrick track that I'm talking about, at first people listen to it like, yo, what is this guy doing? But when that shit come in the cloud, you know people are jumping up and down.
There's two things Future's good at, and it's one is finding the pocket and those cadences. Well, it's actually two things on its own already. But then the other aspect that he's known for is just flooding the streets with music, right? It's that whole ATL hustle scene where you just keep pumping out music and you're constantly relevant because out of the 10 tracks you have, maybe 2 or 3 of them are hits. But because you're constantly pumping out at that rate, you always have some sort of hit going on. He's a hit maker. Like, that's all I can say about that. Whether or not I enjoyed it, I think it does get stale, right? That's the problem with being overexposed. And I think it shows in this album. Like, I enjoy all the sections with Juice more because Juice is sort of a fresh take, a fresh sound. That being said, this is probably not his best project. The combination of the two works. I understood the collab, but it's it's not exactly a quality album to me. I like maybe 4 or 5 of the tracks, and this is what, a 16-track album, so that's not good.
Yeah, I was expecting more, to be honest.
So ratings?
Hey man, gotta keep the same energy, call it how it is. You know, first album today, gotta give it a 2.5.
Yeah, seriously, I'm gonna keep it more. I'm not gonna be as lenient towards some of these albums anymore. I'm gonna be a little more harsher. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this album 2 out of 5.
How are you gonna say this guy's dope, this album's dope, give it a 2 out of 5, I give it a 2.5?
When did I say this album was dope?
You did. You said Juice WRLD did this.
I said
this
Juice
album,
WRLD is
blah, blah.
dope. I said Juice WRLD's last album was dope.
Alright, I appreciate you keeping it honest and
Hey man,
harsh.
like I did not feel this album whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is what did we say we're gonna do at the beginning? Let them know what we're gonna do. Repeat.
Keep, repeat, or delete.
So this is definitely a delete off the library for sure. It's not something I'm gonna go back to and listen.
So, since you brought it out, I guess we gotta explain what we're gonna do. Previously, we've been just rating the albums out of 5, but now we're gonna just add a little extra rating, I guess, to it, and we're gonna decide whether we're gonna keep the album, whether we're gonna put it on repeat and listen to it, or whether we're just gonna delete it straight off of our library. So,
Wait, so how does keep and repeat differ?
Keep is sort of it's just there. You might go back to it.
yeah.
And then repeat is like you like Juice WRLD's album, and that's a repeat for me. All Girls Are the Same. That's a repeat for me.
Like,
For sure.
if you want to talk about Future's DS2, like that's a repeat for me where you keep going back and listening to it.
Yeah,
Keep
it's just-
occasionally you'll go back and listen to a few songs.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of those songs, when you're in that mood, you want to just listen to it. Definitely, you're gonna go back to that song.
Do your rating out of 5 and then
Yeah. What do you think about this, Kev?
I'm torn here. So I think I'm gonna give it a. This is probably a little more lenient than I've been in the past. Probably a 3 out of 5. You guys are going the harsher route. I'm actually going a little easier here, but I do think I've been a little harsh in the last few episodes. That being said, it's kind of straddling that point for me of being a keep or a delete. Because there are a few tracks where I'm like, okay, this shit kind of snaps, but then at the same time, I'm sick of hearing Future's voice too. I'm gonna say keep for now. I feel like after a few listens, it might end up being a delete though.
Moving on, Lil Yachty, your favorite rapper, Key,
Who said that?
dropped this project called
Who the fuck
Nothing to
said that?
Prove.
Let me make this clear.
Did he prove something to you?
No.
Did he have anything to prove?
No. Well, he had something to prove.
He had something to prove. Did
well,
he prove it,
Eminem. Hell no. Who the fuck is this guy? Lil Yachty. Lil everybody.
Didn't this guy get fat eating pizza?
Pizza and burgers.
I heard all he eats is pizza and burgers.
Oh yeah, that's true. Pizza's good still. I fuck with pizza.
What'd you guys think of the project?
You don't fuck with pizza, Kevin?
I fuck with pizza, but like, how can you
Favorite
be like,
pizza
eating
pizza
only
joint.
pizza and
Favorite
burgers?
pizza joint right now.
Huh?
What's your favorite pizza place?
Domino's.
I was gonna say Domino's too.
Domino's is fire. Okay, anyways.
Yeah,
Lil
Wait,
Yachty.
hold
Hook it
on,
up
hold
with
on.
that sponsorship.
Side topic.
We are
side
not
topic.
sponsored by Domino's. Domino's hook us up still.
Side topic. I was talking about this with Chris and Vinny the other day. We were at Vinny's house. Rank these 4 restaurants for me, okay? They're burger fast food places.
Say it.
A&W, Wendy's, BK, McDonald's. 1 to 4.
Wendy's first. You said A&W second. BK McDonald's.
Nah.
Yo, see, I knew this shit was gonna spark a thing.
I'm
I
just-
thought people would have McDonald's 1 or 2, but
thing
when
is-
I did my own list, McDonald's was last.
The thing is, I'm talking about just burgers. I'm not talking about chicken nuggets or McFlurries and all that.
So we're not
That's
looking at a
getting-
restaurant
We're
as a
looking at
whole.
the fact that this is a burger
That's
shop, so
fair.
we're talking about
That's
burgers.
fair. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
definitely Wendy's for me has a lot more options. They're, I don't know if it's true or not. They're fresh, never frozen, right, guys? So I don't know. The
Yo,
Wendy's girl.
McDonald's says their beef is fresh too, but we all know that's chicken ass.
That's just rat meat, bro.
I don't want to spend too much time on this one.
Yo,
so
rank
I'll
it
leave
real
that.
quick. Rank it real quick. Rank it real quick.
Come on, Kev.
Fuck, if we're just talking burgers, right?
Yes, burgers.
I'd say Wendy's, A&W. No, actually, BK, A&W, Wendy's, and McDonald's. Just on the burger side. But
Yo,
overall, as a restaurant, McDonald's is number 1.
Yeah.
So I think McDonald's is number 1 for a lot of people because I think it's the cheapest. They have like those cheap dope
Yeah.
burgers and it's like everywhere.
Yeah,
You see that shit everywhere. You don't see A&W, Wendy's, and BK all over the place.
especially when you turn, you like need to go somewhere. You can't rely on a Wendy's.
But when I
being
asked
open.
him this conversation, I thought that McDonald's would be up number 1 or 2 for a lot of people, and I was surprised to find out it was like at the bottom.
Well, you change the conversation, right? You're talking strictly burgers.
Yeah.
And McDonald's probably doesn't have the best.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Trust me, they don't.
All right, moving back to the
back.
fucker who only eats burgers and pizza, the uncultured ass.
Yo, little Yachty boy. Let
said
me
that.
be the first to tell you.
Didn't that man play?
Actually,
Fortnite?
I'm not the first. Joe Biden was the first. You're trash.
What? Who's trying?
Little Yachty.
Yeah, okay.
This
Did he,
album didn't prove anything.
didn't this guy play Fortnite with Ninja? Who you play with? Did he play with Ninja?
I don't know. He might have
Anyways.
played with Daquan, but
Okay, true. Anyways, just moving on with this trash album.
yeah.
Agreed. I couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
I had to force myself to finish it one
There's
time.
good features
with you,
too.
Kev.
When I looked at the track list, I was like, okay, there's pretty good features on this album. Let me listen to it. But when I listen to it, when he does his like melodic shit, oh my god, I
Trippy
couldn't
Red
stand
is
it.
everywhere now. I see.
Yeah,
I fuck with Trippy Red though.
I do too.
It's okay.
Kev, what'd you think about the album?
I couldn't get through it, and I don't think the features helped. I think he was leaning too hard on the features, and if they didn't outshine him, they didn't help the track any. So it wasn't a very enjoyable album. Like honestly, I think it's a 1.5 for me.
Yeah, no, I totally see where Kevin's coming from, and this was for me. Now I'm listening to music, and they told me to listen to music that even though I don't like this particular artist, I have to listen to it in order to give my opinion on it, which I can understand. And this album definitely was one of those albums I was struggling to like let play while I was driving.
Yeah, I remember Kevin mentioned that like a few episodes ago. He's like, if you listen to an album and you're struggling to go from one track to one track
Yeah.
and wait for the whole thing to end, that's like never a
Like,
good
there's
sign.
so much good music out there that I
Yeah.
want to like. I'm so eager to listen to, and I have to listen to this trash.
I know, I
It's kind of
experienced the
annoying.
same thing. I only listen to it just so we can talk about it and give our opinions on it. But I'd give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards what Dan is saying, 2 out of 5. But Kev, you're 1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
And I gotta say this overall, I never really got it with Yachty.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
He's definitely not for us. I say this about a lot of the young rappers, but this guy, I don't see his appeal, man. And I'm not hating. Like, good for you that you're on a wave.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you only eat pizza and burgers shows in your taste of music.
Hey man, you got some filet
So
mignon in your
it's fair to
diet.
say it's a straight delete for all of us.
Straight delete.
I never even
delete.
downloaded it.
Tell Apple to delete it off the playlist. bro. Call Apple, Spotify, everybody. That trash
Skip
out
this
of
one,
here.
guys.
Moving on, Khalid dropped a pretty dope project, Sun City. I know Keith didn't get a chance to listen to it. Kev, what'd you think?
I actually really liked it. I think it was a good departure from his first album, which was a great album, but it still had that sort of high school youth to it. And in this one, he definitely matured a little bit more. There's darker sounds, more variety of soundscapes, and it's just he's going in a different direction this time.
I think I agree with you. Before I listened to this project, I was scared that it was going to be youthful, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually pretty surprised on how it sounded. I think it sounded really good. There's dope songs on there, and the fact that it's 7 songs, I think helped a lot too. Because
It was a good-
it was
yeah.
a good number to have.
Yeah, like I think I liked every track on it.
Yeah, me too.
Ratings?
With all that being said, I'll give it a 3.5. Actually, I'll give it a 3. Sorry, I'll give it
Jesus.
a 3. I'll give it a 3. Because I'm comparing it to the other albums that we got to talk about, and I'm thinking if it's going to be on the same level, and I don't think it is, so I'll
Yeah.
just give it a 3.
No, give it your honest opinion for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say between 3.5 and 4, and if I had to pick one,
Damn, what has Kev given it for?
very few. I think
Yeah, I don't even know.
4 on the last. We
know.
gotta
The
go back
number
to the
4,
archives for that.
Jeez.
I'll say 3.5. Just
There you go.
yeah.
That's what I knew you were gonna give it.
But it's definitely a repeat for me.
Yeah, it's a repeat for me too. I've already listened to it like 3-4 times over.
As much as like he's tried more and gone a different direction with this, the only criticism I have is it's not and maybe it's because of the youthfulness that he had before. It's not as catchy. It doesn't have those bangers that you thought that he would have, right? Because he has fire hooks. But this one, it's like well-written songs, but nothing that sort of sticks where I'm constantly bumping it, unlike in the first album.
True.
Yeah.
I think those were all the projects we're going to talk about from last week. So moving on to this week, our boy Tory Lanez from the city dropped this album called Love Me Now.
Talk about the artwork though. That artwork is sick.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
dope.
fuck with that artwork.
I like
the
it
Muppets.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. I like it.
So Love Me Now with a question mark is his album title. I listened to an interview today, and he was saying how like he's giving you everything that you've asked for. He's giving you R&B. He's giving you rap and bars. He's giving you the features with this album. He's giving you skits and everything. So he's like, do you love me now? Is there more to hate? What'd you guys think?
I like Keith's start.
About what his quote, about what he said, or like the album.
No, the album. I was just putting that out there.
About the album, yeah, the album was really nice. I really liked it. The one thing I had to say about it, every song sort of sounded the same. I kept praying. I actually did this where I played next and I skipped to maybe the middle of it, and it's just like the same type flow and beat style to it. So, anyways, besides that,
What's going on over there? You need help?
yo,
This man needs a drink.
I'll let you go.
I'm
Finish.
gonna slap the shit out of you right now. Watch yourself. All right. So no, this album was really good. A lot of the songs are songs that didn't. Even the song with Nav and Bryson were pretty dope to me. Those were my favorite. But I really liked the Runoff and You Thought Wrong. I like those songs a lot. They speak a lot to Toronto and his come up. So I really fuck with that. And overall, the album was really good. And it's definitely, I was just gonna say this right now, it's definitely a keep for me. It's a keeper.
I fuck with Tory a lot, man. I think he's really talented. His melodies, his bars, like everything, it's like top notch. I don't think this album was better than his last one. But again, the features, I was happy to see him work with a lot of people. So watching some of his interviews, he told me he has a lot of not me, he told the world that he has a lot of songs with Chris Brown, and they might be possibly working on a project together. So I'm excited to hear that.
All them bitches wet.
I like the one with Nav. I like Bryson Tiller one. I like Swing with P&B Rock and Trey Songz. I think there's a lot of dope songs. The intro I like too, Why Don't You Love Me? But again, with all that being said, I don't think it was better than his last one.
I'm a big Tory fan, so I'll start off like that. In terms of him giving us exactly what we want, I can kind of see where that comes from, because this is just, you can tell he's just going for hit after hit, radio play after radio play. That being said, I don't think that's Tory. Well, that is Tory's strength, but that's not what I like about his music. So for this one, this project was just all right. Where Dan likes the features, I didn't care for them. It's funny that he has a bunch of songs with Chris Brown, because those are exactly the songs I hate. I don't know. I don't like anything Chris Brown put out in the last like 5 years.
Oh my god, don't get me started. I'm gonna let that statement fly, because we'll be here for 2 hours talking about Chris Brown.
It's just,
I think the purpose of this project was to give the fans the features that they were waiting for, right? A lot of them have been hitting him up saying like, yo, I want to see you work with this guy, work with this guy. So I think that's why he put this project out. He even said it. He like approached it like a mixtape. Whereas his albums, there's like a story to it. There's a concept to it. Like his first one, I told you, with all those skits, he was telling a story. His last one, he was telling a story as well, right? Whereas this one is like completely different from those two.
yeah. So it lacks that cohesiveness that the other albums had, and I'll take it at face value. It's treated as a mixtape. It does sound all the same though, because he's giving the fans exactly what he wants, and it's a very average sounding album because of that. I don't get me wrong, I like a lot of tracks on here. But I think the second half was a lot stronger than the first, and I mentioned that to you guys.
Yeah.
I think after the last Chris Brown song, things start to get better. I would skip the Nav song still. I like the Runoff, You Thought Wrong. My favorite's still Miami. The feature with Gunna is really nice.
Word.
And then he ends it off really good. And the Bryson Tiller track is nice too.
Yeah. Yo, you know what I just thought about?
What?
So, do you think like when people put a label on the project that they put out, so whether it's an album or a mixtape, that kind of attaches a stigma to it.
It can.
Because if
Why
they
you gotta
don't
be
say
careful.
anything, right? If he said this was a mixtape, or if he didn't even say anything at all, right? You might have not thought about it the same way as if we said, yo, this is an album. You know what I mean? Does that, when they say it's an album, does that like raise your expectations and you expect more?
Yes and no, because the meaning of mixtape is kind of changed over the years, and it's kind of meaningless now. Kendrick Lamar put out some crazy mixtape. Section 80 was a mixtape, but that is probably like the most
That
conceptual
mixtape is better than a
you've
lot
ever
of
heard.
rappers' albums.
Right?
Sure.
And so there's no excuse when you put out a body of work. It doesn't matter what you label it. Your name's attached to it now, so there's certain expectation, or
I think
you put it up for scrutiny, basically.
Yeah, I think this whole like confusion between albums and mixtapes kind of works towards their favor, because now they don't attach a name to it. They don't say whether it's an album or a mixtape, and I think it's an escape for them for when it doesn't sell well. They're like, oh, this was an album, whatever, it's a mixtape. People take it however they take it. But whereas if they say this is an album and it doesn't perform well, then they're like, yo, your album flopped.
Okay, that's probably true from an industry perspective, but we're not really in the industry like that, right?
Yeah, no.
Me as a fan and a consumer, you put out a shitty project, you still took an L in my eyes. Why'd you put that out? It was trash, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters in the internet age, because everything's consumed the same way. Nobody's buying albums. It's all off streaming. So we can't really tell the difference between a mixtape or an album. But circling back, I wouldn't say this was a bad project. I enjoy it. For me, it's a repeat. It's not what I enjoy most about Tory. So I would say it's probably a 3 out of 5.
It's definitely,
Actually, 3.5.
yeah, it's definitely a repeat for me too, and I would agree with Kev. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 as well. So what we have next, we got
Jeremiah and Ty Dolla $ign. They dropped their joint project called My Ty.
My Time.
So I gotta say, man, they announced that this project was supposed to come out in August. So I've been waiting a long time because I'm a huge fan of Ty and I'm a huge fan of Jeremiah. I was waiting to hear what they had together. And I gotta say, it's like what I expected. It's not super amazing, it's not crazy, but it's not trash at the same time. And I enjoyed a lot of songs on it. So I'm happy they put it out. The single that they dropped beforehand, The Light, man, I fuck with that shit a lot. Even though it didn't really do that well, but that song is fire to me.
No, that song was good. Like the only other song, well, I didn't really like this album, to be honest with you. I tried listening to it, and Dan told me to like give it another listen before this podcast, and I was just like not feeling it at all. The only other song that I sort of messed around with was Lie to Me. I like that song a lot. I'm not sure why. It sort of just relates a lot to what's going on.
I think I gotta step back and not criticize this one too much, mainly because I was listening to this quite passively. From the brief listen that I had the one time I went through it is what Dan says. It's exactly what you expect from Jeremiah and Ty Dolla $ign, and I like both of them, but it wasn't like Jeremiah's, what was that project that he put out, that
Late Nights.
Yeah. It's not a late night.
Yeah, I know.
And that was kind of disappointing. It wasn't to that quality.
I think one of the reasons they've worked well together and they sound good is because Ty Dolla $ign has like a deep voice, whereas Jeremiah
contrast.
sings that the contract I think works towards their favor.
I just think the songs weren't that amazing. It was like the same problem Tory had. It was all radio hits, and they weren't really trying anything new. And I think this is a problem I've been running into a lot, especially in the last 6 months or so.
I fuck with it, man. I'll give it it's definitely a repeat for me. There's tracks on here that I'll bump into on the daily. I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. Same as Tory.
Yeah, if this album is a straight delete for me.
Wow,
it's not,
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Man's entitled to his opinion.
Hey man, I'm entitled to my opinion, alright? Fuck you. So this is, for me, in order to keep an album, especially an album that I repeat to, it has to sort of, it's not just music that's good, it's more music that I can relate to. That's sort of the type of music that I like.
Yo, people say this shit all the time, but it's not true. people bump Future all the time and they don't relate to him. Molly Percocet, like you ain't out here doing Molly Percocet.
I'm not relating any, but I'm not. Everyone is different.
I know, but you listen to music sometimes because it sounds dope. Whether the beat is dope, the melodies are dope. You know, you listen to it. Not everything that you listen to is.
But not all
relatable.
the lyrics in that song relate to some of the stuff that I do. Some of the songs, like Sicko Mode, is something that I fuck with. Does it mean that I'm doing all kinds of shit like this? No. Like Juice WRLD is like one of those albums that I fuck with a lot because it relates to like a lot of the shit that, you know, I deal with and stuff like that. That's
those things that you relate to, like those will carry like a long time. You'll be able to repeat those albums for a long, long time. So I understand that. But what I'm saying is like not everything that you listen to you relate to, which you're gonna obviously agree.
Yeah, I can sort of sway that way, but for me, this is not something that I'm gonna keep in my library. This is a 2.5 out of 5 for me. That's just my opinion. This is how I felt about this album.
I'm gonna abstain from voting because I don't think I gave it a proper listen.
But before you even go forward, I know this next person we're gonna talk about is a rap artist. I just want to shout out Joji.
Wait, we're gonna talk about Joji.
Are we talking about Joji? Did you listen to it?
I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Okay, so we're talking about Joji right now. It's not on the docket though. We're talking about Joji. Yo, shout out to Filthy Frank though. I fuck with Filthy Frank. That man.
The come up was real.
Yo, YouTube star, especially someone that's been going through a lot of stuff recently. He put up a video maybe a couple years ago talking about how he's dealing with I think it's depression or something. That's why he sort of stepped away from the Filthy Frank show. He's not been as active as he has been before. Someone like Filthy Frank, who his content is obviously not for everyone.
He's a fucking troll.
He is the biggest troll of them all. Hey man, that guy has put out such amazing content that has made me laugh constantly. Like stuff that I go back to just so that I can laugh at something. YouTube doesn't really recognize him because he's one of those people where, you know, they can't really show him some type of appreciation, especially for the content that he puts out. And it's also been brought out because, you know, YouTube has always their year-end YouTube Rewind video, and one of their biggest stars is Filthy Frank. I think he has almost like 4 or 5 million subscribers, something like that, but he hasn't been in any one of those YouTube Rewinds. That goes to show, you know,
they can't play him. He's not friendly for advertising.
He's not friendly for advertising. They're not going to get that Hershey Kiss advertising money or whatever, Coca-Cola money.
Yo, are you gonna talk about Joji though?
Joji's sick, bro. Joji's
related. I get it.
It's related, man. I just want to give people, you know, fuck with Joji, guys. Give him a listen. He's awesome. No, but this album, I'll say right now, this album is a keep. I like this album a lot. It sounded, a lot of the songs I agree with what Dan told me before we started recording was it sounded the same. A lot of the songs did sound the same. My favorite song would have to be Slow Dancing in the Dark. He put out a music video and I talked to Kevin, but I don't know if he watched it yet, but it sort of was kind of weird, but I sort of liked it at the same time. The video was really cool. I want to sort of get into that later on about music videos, especially with the whole Sicko Mode video coming out and having the attention that it has. But Slow Dancing, Test Drive, Yeah Right was another single he put out. Those are definitely my top 3 songs. It's definitely an album that you guys should listen to as well.
So I think just something you already mentioned is that I do think some of the songs sound the same. I don't know if it was because I was tired and sleepy when I listened to it. It was making me even more sleepy. So I felt like the album was a little boring. But Yeah Right was like a really dope track. That was a standout track for me. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if it was the mood I was in or where I listened to the album, but I wasn't feeling it that much. But Joji's definitely talented. And if I were to rate it, I'd keep this album and I'll listen to it again just so I can see if I change my mind. So I can't say I'm gonna delete it right off the bat. I'd probably right now give it a 2.5 out of 5.
2.5 out of 5, and you're keeping it?
Yeah,
50%.
Because it can go up if I listen to it more and more, and it resonates with me more. Then my ratings for it will go up.
Yeah, no, this album is definitely a keeper for me. I've been bumping to Slow Dancing in the Dark a lot, and for me, if I would give this a rating, it would definitely be a 3 out of 5. It's definitely a keeper.
You trying to slow dance in the dark?
Yeah, man, Slow Dancing in the Dark with goat legs. I gotta see that music video. It's kind of trippy.
Joji's definitely one of the more innovative artists in the last few years.
Yeah, man.
And when he first came out and people didn't know he was Filthy Frank and they found out, they were all shocked because they're just like, holy shit, this guy can actually make serious music. But that being said, I think I've heard more than half of this album so far, and I really enjoy it. I can't give it a full rating yet, but I just wanted to say that I definitely respect this guy's come up, and he described it best. His music is trap music you slow dance to, right? And I really like, like Dan said, in Slow Dancing in the Dark. But I'll have to come back to that on the rating.
Sounds fair. And I think this is the last project we're going to talk about. Someone we've mentioned in this podcast before, Mick Jenkins.
Ginger Ale for you hosts.
Mick Jenkins, Ginger Ale. Pieces of a Man. He dropped this album. Did you guys get a chance to listen?
I've been waiting for this one for a while. Because he hasn't dropped any substantial projects since the Healing Component, which was almost 2 years ago, I think.
Yo, Mick Jenkins is super underrated. And when I listened to this album, I felt like I learned some things about him. I felt like he feels like he's in a league of his own, and like he definitely knows his worth. He knows that he's super dope. And because what I was gonna say is that he should work with some dope artists, right, to increase his exposure and get his name out there, right? I definitely see Mick Jenkins working with a Kendrick, right? Or with other lyrical artists. I definitely see him do, and I think they will make great music
It'd
together.
be the same message, too.
Yeah.
It'd be the right message.
But I don't think he cares for it. No. He doesn't go after it. Like, he knows he's dope, and in the project, he talks about it a lot, too, where he says, like, he knows he's real, he's in his lane of his own, and he makes a lot of correlations and metaphors to, like, weed. And then he's like trying to talking about other people's musics, and he's like, yo, if you bring some Reggie, then I gotta let you know what it is. Like, keep it real with you, right? So yeah, I really enjoy this album. But I think it's one of those, before I shut up, is that you need the lyrics, and it's like super layered. Like, if you just listen to it, like, you won't be able to appreciate and understand everything that's in there. You gotta like read the lyrics and see what he's talking about.
I agree with that, and I think I liken this to Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly, in that there's a lot of messaging in it, and there's sort of an overarching concept, and the free jazz and stuff is all there too. So there's a lot of parallels to
the Heron flow.
The Heron flow, Gil Scott Heron, right? But that being said, his pen game is nasty. Like, I don't think there's maybe 2 or 3 rappers that come close to him currently in terms of writing, and even then he's just got a good sense for the music too. So it's not just bars. He fits it in the music in a way that's still palatable, and this project is definitely a lot. I think this project is more what I was expecting from Mick, as opposed to what I heard in the Healing Component, which is still dope in its own right, but it was more experimental.
I completely agree.
With that being said, I have no complaints on this one.
Yeah, seeing what you guys have to say about this, I really have to go back and listen to this album. I listened to it one way through and I wasn't feeling it.
He's that type of artist.
Yeah, I guess, I'm seeing you guys and how passionately you guys are talking about this guy.
He's dope,
I might have to listen to this again, because if you guys are saying this guy has a goal with Kendrick and make a mixtape with, oh my gosh.
We've been on him for a long time, and we've been appreciating
this is someone I'm new to as well.
Yeah.
So
you need to go back to his early stuff, to
True.
Tree of Life. What was the project called?
The first one, right?
Yeah,
where he makes the Adam and Eve references.
Yeah, there's a lot of biblical references and stuff like that. But I just wanted to circle back to the collab thing. I think he kind of put his time in with the collabs. He came up with a lot of the guys who blew up from Chicago, right? The Vic Mensas. He did a song with Chance.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of the other local artists who are kind of big in the city now. But
with that being said, he's nowhere as big as any of those two guys. He's not as big as Vic, and he's definitely not as big as Chance.
No.
And I think he's talented enough. His projects are dope enough to be like on those guys' level.
But I'll say something. He's doing numbers, though. He has 1.3 million monthly listeners on Spotify. His top 5 songs, like 3 or 4 of them, are in the 10 million plus range in streams. And that's just on one platform. So it's not like he's unknown.
Yeah. But I guess he's unappreciated for sure.
He's definitely slept on.
If you like bars, lyrics, a little bit of jazz, this is definitely the project for you. Check it out. If you fuck with Mick, you should definitely go back and listen to his previous projects as well.
And for people who are just getting into him, this is something that requires active listening because he comes from that poetry background. So everything he says and every word and bar he uses is intentional, and the way he spaces things is intentional. So there's a lot of thought behind everything. So you kind of have to sit there and digest it.
I like how he had some spoken word in the album too.
Mm-hmm. So, because that's where he started.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Super dope.
So
this
rating.
one, best album came out so far.
Facts.
4.5.
Jeez.
Oh, is this the first 4.5 out of
No,
10?
I gave 4.5 to Black. I remember.
Oh yeah.
This is up there, bro.
Oof, Kevin.
I want to give him a 4.5, but I don't know if I've listened enough to like say it's a 4.5. Because to me, The Waters was 4.5, and the mixtape before that was 4.5. This is close. It's a 4 at least. So I'm gonna say 4 for now because it's still early. Sometimes these albums take time to digest.
Yo, everything from the artwork with the broken mirror and that you see pieces of him to the title, Pieces of a Man, and then what he talks about. Like, I just hope some of you out there that listen to this album get to like see what I saw or Kevin saw in this project. So that, and then hope you'll understand why I give it a 4.5.
True, definitely gonna listen back to this.
Everyone definitely needs to check this out.
I think those are all the projects that we're gonna review and rate. But before we move on to other topics, there's just a few other EPs and mixtapes that came out that I just want to shout out for all you R&B fans. NAO dropped a mixtape called Saturn. Abir, ABIR, she dropped an EP called Mint. This artist by the name of Ivy J dropped an EP called Ivy. Summer Walker, some of you might have heard of her. She dropped a really dope project as well called Last Day of Summer. Brent Fayaz, he's dope as well. Lost EP. And you hip-hop fans that like that turn-up trap music, Maiden TYO dropped this album called Sincerely Tokyo. So those are the albums I gotta shout out. Check them out.
Very good, very good.
What else do we got?
Moving on to topics. What happened? These past 2 weeks we've been gone, and damn, that scrap was fire. I like that.
Hands.
Y'all talking about this is unacceptable in the NBA? Shit, I live for that. I want to see that.
Yo, I gotta be real with you. I remember I was talking to you that night too. When that happened, my heart started beating fast, and I felt like I was in that fight, bro.
All I saw was Brandon Ingram looking like Slender Man with them eyes. That man was ready to kill somebody. Holy.
Yo, he was cheesed the whole night because he was getting bodied by James Harden, and he wasn't really getting any calls.
Too. That man was the leading scorer of that game too.
I know.
For the audience who doesn't know what they're talking about, tell them what they got to look up.
Well, they gotta
type
look up
Lakers and Houston fight, and you'll fight it. It'll probably be the first one on YouTube.
Jeez, man, all started over some. Yo, what is wrong with Brandon Ingram? The man he fouled James Harden, went up. James Harden got the and one.
He was definitely pissed. I'm telling you, it was just built up anger that just came out all.
And then he was yelling at the ref too.
I know.
The man was trying to fight the ref.
Yo,
too.
they pushed him away till half court to try to stop the thing with James Harden. Then he ran back and snuffed CP3.
Lonzo doesn't give a fuck. Lonzo should have grabbed him. Lonzo does not really support the teammates, I feel. I don't feel like he's one of those guys that'll like help you out. Cause he should have just grabbed him before he even got to there. Cause he threw a punch at CP3 as well. Like, bro, what the hell? He came all the way from half court and was able to throw.
Yo, the real question though, did Rondo spit on CP3?
No,
it was not.
I don't think he did either.
It was not spit. It was
accidental. He was talking shit,
sweat.
and
it was
just
sweat
like,
for sure.
yeah, bro.
He like when mans are sweating, bro, and he just probably like try to blow sweat. People, I do that too sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah, it was sweat. I'm pretty sure it was on purpose. I feel like it was on purpose because you don't do that in front of someone in the face.
Yeah.
But bro, like,
I don't think it was spit though.
it wasn't spit.
yeah.
No, it was sweat. It was sweat.
I see
feel
people
like it was
saying
We all know
definitely. Oh, we got the evidence. We got the perfect angle.
the Houston Rockets was the one submitted to the NBA to
I seen
reduce
that. Here's the
Rondo's-
video. He spit on it,
CP3.
but I don't think he did.
Nah,
Either way,
that's a reach.
And
that was
also
fire.
the penalties, I feel like it was lenient, to be honest with you.
4 games.
For a fight,
4 games for Ingram.
Ingram, 2 for CP3, and like
3 for Rondo.
yeah, that's not a lot.
Man, especially this is like the second game of the season when it
It's
happened.
early, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think it's okay. 4 games. Like what would you say is a 10-game suspension? 10 games, that's 1/8 of the season. 10 games,
Yeah, that has to
suspension
be
is
like
a
a-
lot.
yeah.
You have to be
You gotta
going
start
into
the rumble in the palace.
Yeah, that's what I was
Rumble,
gonna say.
yeah,
It has to be
that's
like
a
a
next
brawl
level
type
thing.
Yeah.
Like that has to be next. Like, but over that fight was
Entertaining
entertaining,
as
and it
fuck.
was the last 2-4 minutes of the game. It was woof.
I know. I
People,
enjoy it.
this is why the NBA has passed the NFL, guys. The NBA is killing it right now.
There's
Talking
other
about-
reasons too, but
There's other reasons too as to why the NBA is better than NFL, but that's y'all can probably come up to the conclusion as to why that is. But
talking about NBA and basketball, our Toronto Raptors
Yeah,
6-0. Is that franchise best start? I think it
franchise
is.
best start, yeah. They're versing Milwaukee on Tuesday, I believe. So Milwaukee is 6-0 as well. Keep that in mind. The Greek
We'll
Freak.
give them the L.
They're going to Milwaukee to take on the Greek Freak. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
So I remember a few episodes back, I said I don't know if Boston will face Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals, but from what I've seen so far, it's gonna be Raptors Boston for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that. Boston is still trying to work out any kinks and what they have to do with Gordon Hayward coming back in and try to implement him. But Jason Tatum, that man is
Hey,
Mamba.
man. He trained with Kobe over the
That
summer.
man is Mamba mentality right now. Light skinned Mamba. That man is going off right now.
I think Hayward, just quickly to wrap it up, he doesn't look like he's back yet.
No,
I
he's
think there's
not.
little fear
There's
from the
definitely
injury. Yeah.
like I've like injured my knee before. Like I haven't had an injury like that. What Gordon Hayward had to go through for a full year trying to rehab that back. But definitely, whenever you come from an injury and start playing ball, you're always thinking about that injury. You're always thinking about,
Yeah,
oh,
don't
should I
want it to
make
happen
this
again.
move? Will it snap again? You don't want
Yeah.
that. So definitely, that's a tough thing to work with, especially coming off an injury just like that.
So 2 quick things to mention. Tyronn Lue got fired. I mean, you kind of seen it coming.
Hey, man,
0-6 start for the Cavs.
Hey man, Cavs have to look for a scapegoat. They're selling tickets at the door for $2.
But what I gotta say is like, this is one of the only times that I've seen the players from the team, like on Instagram when I was scrolling today, actually make posts about him.
Yeah, LeBron said like, "Thank you so much, Ty Lue, for helping us bring a championship to Cleveland. Much respect, stuff like that." But I
Just
hate it
leave
when
it at that.
Yeah, just leave it at that. I don't know. Sometimes people just have to fire somebody just to make a statement. I don't know what Cleveland is not going to get a good coach. No one's coming.
They
up with
always
it.
blame it on the coach too. You know, if they get into a bad start or they start doing bad, like who you're gonna blame it on? You can't get rid of the players. You fire the coach.
Yep.
But that's the nature of leadership, and especially in sports coaching, right? When it's a success, it's the player's success. But when it's a failure, that's the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
Pat.
sure.
Hey, like Eric Spoelstra is still in Miami, right?
Yup.
They're not doing so well. He's still there. He's still
Yeah.
doing a good job, right? Even though he doesn't have LeBron there.
At the end of the day, this is I think this is mostly a corporate / PR move. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I don't know about the quality of his coaching and how much of it was actually just LeBron.
It was all LeBron.
It was all LeBron for
Yeah,
sure.
man. That man left. Look at him now.
Management just feels they need a shake up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just quickly to wrap this NBA topic up, I was watching the Warriors play 2 games, the last game against the Knicks and the one before that. Man, they look scary. Fucking Steph and KD, bro. These guys are unstoppable. Steph was pulling up from anywhere.
They're mad comfortable with each other now. It's been like almost 2
And
years
Boogie's
now.
not even playing yet.
Boogie's sitting on the bench laughing at man's talking about how he ruined the NBA.
Bro.
That's what Boogie's doing.
He hasn't even started.
Yeah, he hasn't even started yet, bro. It's just the beginning, bro.
I think
The storm is
championship is going to Golden State
The
again.
storm is coming, guys.
Yeah.
Trust. Steph is looking... Man, I don't like Steph at all. I don't think he should have won back-to-back MVPs, but that man is cooking
Bro, Steph
right
Curry
now.
changed the game, though.
The man is cooking.
Kids play differently now. And
Enough-
taking half court
Yo,
shots.
Mans used to call Kobe when they did all those
Yeah.
shots back in the day.
Kobe.
Now it's Steph Curry. That's the name you hear out there. Oh,
Yo.
Steph Curry.
No, it's like Curry shooting from like way beyond the 3-point line. That's
know.
crazy. But nah.
Moving on. What's our latest report on Pete and Ariana Keith?
Yo, when you fuck with Kanye, you fuck with your life.
How you gonna make this about Kanye?
Hey, man.
This shit is not about Kanye.
Hey,
I
man,
didn't know
yo,
we are gonna go
hey,
here.
Listen, man. Pete Davidson wanted to talk shit about Kanye, talking about make Kanye 2006 again.
So Kanye made Ariana
Listen.
break up with him?
You don't mess with Jesus.
Shut the fuck
Do not
up.
fuck with Yeezus. Look what happened. That man is crying. That man, both of them got a tattoo of each other, all cute and shit. Look at y'all dumbasses now.
This man is bitter.
Yo, y'all. What's wrong with it? Still, Ariana's. She clean still. Let me get that out the way.
Just keep it there.
I just thought about that.
There,
I just thought about that real
Just
quick.
keep it there.
That shit hit me hard right now. Either way. Yo, Pete Davidson, some ugly ass lizard looking like type motherfucker. Yo, get out of here. What do you think you're gonna marry Ariana Grande, you stupid ass motherfucker?
Speaking about Kanye and trolls, you guys read the thing about 50 Cent and what he did at for the Ja Rule concert?
This man is King Petty, man.
Savageness.
Savage. He brought what? The first 200 seats in the front row so it could be empty at a show?
For $3,000.
Bands.
Hey, that's not even a lot.
It's nothing.
That's
Especially
nothing.
for him, that's
yeah,
nothing.
Ja Rule concert, 3K, you get all the seats in the front
Bro,
row.
they've been beefing for so long. He's petty. He's not willing to let it go.
But I gotta say, if I had that money, I would totally do something.
Bro,
like
he's
that. That
the
shit is
ultimate
funny.
Definitely.
As fuck.
yeah,
shit is hilarious.
hilarious.
I want to see images from that concert, man. Whenever it happens,
He's the ultimate troll. You want to talk about Nick Cannon wildin'?
Nick Cannon is wilding out right now.
Wilding out.
Where was he on talking all that shit?
I don't know where he was, but I saw the video where he's saying he's a better rapper than Will Smith. He can rap better than Drake, Lil
Will
Wayne,
Smith,
and Andre
yeah,
3K.
maybe, but like when he started saying that shit,
Bro, he's saying I'm better than Drake, Lil Wayne, and Andre 3000.
listen, who still cares about Nick Cannon in this day and age? It's fucking 2018.
Yo, Nick Cannon is like not respected as he should be, but he talks way too much shit. Like people on Wall and Out make fun of him because his music is trash, and it's like 100% true.
It is, and the fact that he keeps talking this shit makes him less appealing, right?
Yeah.
Like, stop feeding him the attention. Why are we doing this?
I think that's exactly why he did it. Attention, like
Definitely.
he's promoting something, like
Yeah,
whether it's
something's
Wild
coming.
and Out or whatever else.
he's probably
got
making
coming out.
Drumline too.
Yeah, he's promoting something because he's smart, man. He's smarter than that, and he knows like what consequences those words are gonna have once they hit the internet. You know?
He's been around long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he knows the game. He's just playing it.
Jonah Hill, man.
Jonah Hill's movie, I gotta see that.
Jonah Hill,
looks sick.
man.
That movie looks sick, man.
Jonah
That man is
90s.
Hey, Dan's about to go in right now. Let me just
Jonah
get this
Hill,
out the way.
man.
Jonah Hill is a dope person. He's a hip hop enthusiast.
Yo,
Hey, man.
you don't know that? How do you know that?
He knows. I know mans who fuck. Hey, he fucks with Kanye, bro. Hey, this man's a hip hop enthusiast, bro.
Listen,
Dan.
man.
That
Talk
man
your
was
shit.
at
I
Wyoming.
like Jonah Hill as an actor. I think he's super funny. Some of the movies he's done, they've been hilarious. But recently, I was watching the Breakfast Club interview that he was doing, saying how he's an OG hip hop head. He's been listening.
He's a sneakerhead too.
Sneakerhead. He was been listening to hip hop for a long time. How the Breakfast Club is like his favorite radio station. Has always been one of his dreams to come up there. I was like, all right, cool. And then next thing I see is he's on all these other hip hop platforms saying the same shit.
What's wrong with that?
I realized his movie coming out,
So?
whatever it's called,
Mid
is
'90s.
geared towards hip hop fans, right? And
Yeah.
he talked about that. He's like, oh, the skateboarding, the graffiti, like the b-boying and all that shit, right? And I was like, okay. At first, when I saw the Breakfast Club interview, I thought, okay, it was like it was loved, like it was coming from a place of love. That's where he was doing it. Then I seen him on all these other hip hop platforms. Then I was like, yo,
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Like he's on other platforms trying to promote a movie that's
he's
talking
trying
about the
to
culture.
attract their audience, their hip hop audience, to go see this movie.
What's wrong
He's
with that?
done other movies before. Why hasn't he gone
But
up
this-
to those platforms to promote any
Because
of his other
his
movies?
That's
movies
not the
are-
right market.
That's not the right mark. Yeah, exactly. That's not the type of platform.
Nah,
they
that's
wanna go
bullshit.
onto.
Yo, hip hop market can enjoy Superbad. Hip hop market can enjoy the war movie that he had. Where
But this is specifically designed. This movie that he made and he
the
directed
comedies
himself.
that he was in, comedy goes across everywhere. Anybody can watch that shit. Why wasn't he there promoting that?
But then the fact of the matter is he's making this movie himself. He's not the director. He's not leading. His production company sends him to places. Like he's just an actor being sent by their production company, whether it's Warner Brothers, Columbia Pictures, whatever it is. They send him to certain places to do interviews with certain people and certain celebrity talk show host type people. Whereas this movie, he made it himself, so he has the opportunity to go on to different platforms and say whatever he wants to say. This being something that's about the culture, he decided to go on the Breakfast Club and other rap, hip hop places that have platforms.
I agree. No, I agree with you. But he's such a big superstar. If he told his producers, "Yo, I really think it would be dope to go
You're
on."
salty, bro. This man's mad salty.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
go on
make
the Breakfast
sense.
Club to talk
like,
super bad.
hey guys, we're here for 22 Jump Street. You know, Korean Jesus is in it. Like, what do you want him to go to Breakfast Club talking about Korean Jesus?
So people who like hip hop didn't watch 22 Jump Street, 21 Jump Street.
That's not the point. The point is that
I just think he's exploiting those stations and their fan base and their audience. That's
He's
how
focusing on the niche that this movie is catering to.
No,
You're thinking this. You're thinking way too hard on this.
There's somebody out there. There's somebody out there who agrees with me.
There's somebody out there. There's I don't know.
He's not exploiting.
He's exploiting, man. It's his own movie. He's exploiting these platforms just so he makes sure that the movie doesn't flop and the right people go support the movie.
He's not just on hip hop.
Listen,
platforms.
I know he's not just on hip hop platforms, but I've seen him on bare hip hop platforms.
But like, wouldn't you like for a movie like this? You would definitely want to go on these platforms just to promote it to people who might not watch entertainment news or some of these other places where
he wants
this
exactly.
Movie.
He wants to make sure these are the people.
These people need to watch these movies
because this is who he made the movie.
Yeah,
for.
he made this movie for them, talking about how he grew up in like the '90s and what he's seen and how he learned hip hop culture.
He ain't seen shit. Let me tell you that.
Well, it's not a movie about gangbangers.
No one's selling coke in this movie. Okay, relax. I don't know. I didn't see it. Maybe they are. I gotta see it. Definitely.
I stand firm with my statements.
Stand firm, bro. You're
He's
the
just
only one
salty.
standing firm. By yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's salty.
Salty as fuck.
What else do we got?
Saltier than Ruffles chips.
What else do we got?
We got yo. That was pretty loud. So
Daredevil.
No. Let's talk about this. Sicko Mode music video. This is a topic that I wanted to bring up. I thought that music video was pretty fire. I really liked it a lot. And I wanted to bring out the topic of what do you guys think is the best music video out this year?
What?
I don't really watch music videos.
I need
like
a
that.
list.
I was gonna give you this. Like, these are some of them.
give me
Sicko Mode.
options.
Sicko Mode was good. Gambino.
That shit just came. Gambino's is really good.
Gambino. I like Juice WRLD's one. And that's it.
Nah.
Those are
there's
like my
definitely
three.
been- Humble by Kendrick Lamar was this year, no?
Humble was this year? Humble was last year.
I don't know, but I need a list to give you a more accurate answer. But out of those three, I would go with Childish Gambino's.
Gambino was
Yeah,
pretty fire.
what was it? Feel Like Summertime or something like that? That video was fire. I just enjoy it so much.
God's Plan.
Where he's walking through like the neighborhood and he just has the music playing in his headphones and like all these rappers are doing all this fuck shit.
J
around.
Rock and Kendrick dropped their music video too.
Yeah, I like that. I like
that's
music
pretty dope.
videos a lot, and let me
Yeah.
tell you why. Because like visually, sometimes the music video sticks more than the songs. And to me, it's done this a lot where I watch the music video and it just increases my appreciation for that song a lot, and I just go back and listen to that song just because the video keeps playing back in my head.
Yeah, man.
It's another aspect of the artistry, right?
Yeah, bro. That it definitely helps with you trying to understand what the lyrics are trying to say with the visuals.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you like Sicko Mode though?
I do like Sicko Mode, but I think there's one scene where Drake looks photoshopped with this other girl and it's like black and white and it looks too fake.
Talking
like,
about
they didn't make it
girls.
smooth.
Oh my god, the amount of ass in that video.
Oh my god.
Holy.
Oh my god.
Ass is all over the place. I love it. Shout out Travis. I know Travis was the one behind that shit.
Nah, it might have been Drake. Travis is taken, bro.
No, Travis was the only one with all those bitches shaking ass all over the place.
On the note of music videos, though, you were talking about Joji, and those ones are some pretty wild videos.
Woo! Joji, I have to think outside.